All right, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle a pretty big, and let's be honest, a really controversial idea from the Nobel-winning economist Robert Shiller. And it's this. What if the entire purpose of finance isn't what we think it is? What if it's actually meant for something much, much bigger?
I mean, for so many of us, right, especially after the 2008 financial crisis, the answer to this question feels like a huge yes. There's just this gut feeling that the whole system is set up to benefit a select few, at the expense of everyone else. And let's be real, that feeling doesn't come from nowhere.
And Schiller gets this. He starts by acknowledging that exact feeling. He knows that a lot of people see finance as this kind of parasitic industry that just sucks value out of the economy instead of actually creating anything. It's a really powerful story, and it's the one we're here to take a closer look at. Because here's the twist, the big counter-argument. Schiller says that finance was originally designed, like at its very DNA level, for a much higher purpose. It's not supposed to be the enemy. It's a powerful tool that maybe we've just forgotten how to use the right way. A tool to build something very specific. And this is the goal he's talking about, a good society. And notice, it's not just about getting rich. It's about fairness, it's about prosperity for everyone, and it's about creating a world where people can actually chase a life that feels meaningful. This is what our financial system is supposed to be working towards.
And I love this quote because it just reframes everything. Schiller says finance isn't the goal itself. It's the architecture, it's the plumbing, the wiring, the foundation that lets us manage all the crazy risks of life and channel our money towards achieving our collective dreams, whether that's funding a new hospital or just being able to retire one day. So if finance is the architecture, who are the actual builders? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the engine room to see how all these different parts are supposed to work together for all of us.
Okay, now this is really fascinating because it flips the script on these roles. Just forget the stereotypes for a second. An investment banker, their job is to find the next game-changing idea and get it the money it needs to exist. A trader, they're the ones who make sure that when you need to sell a stock to pay for tuition, you actually can. An insurer's whole purpose is to be a safety net for life's absolute worst moments. And regulators, they're just there to make sure we can all trust the system. I mean, when you put it that way, these are really noble, essential jobs for any society to function.
So that all sounds pretty great in theory, right? Which, of course, brings up the million-dollar question. If finance is designed for all this good stuff, why does it go off the rails so spectacularly and so often?
Well, Schiller, who's a total expert in behavioral finance, points the finger right back at us, at our own human psychology. The system breaks because one person knows a car is a lemon, but sells it to you anyway. Or it breaks because we all get swept up in the same excitement, following the crowd, and creating these massive, unstable bubbles that are built more on hype than on reality.
It's a pretty heavy question, isn't it? If human nature is the problem, is there even any hope? Are we just stuck in this cycle forever? Well, Schiller argues no. He says that just understanding why we mess up is the most important first step toward actually fixing it.
And this is where it gets really hopeful and exciting. Schiller doesn't just point out what's wrong, he lays out a practical blueprint for how we can rebuild the whole system to be smarter, fairer, and more in line with what it was supposed to do in the first place. His whole plan really comes down to these three big ideas. First, we need to create smarter financial products, the actual contracts we sign. Second, financial education shouldn't be a one-time thing in high school. It needs to be a lifelong resource for everyone. And third, we have to open up the powerful tools of finance so they're not just for the super rich anymore. And this slide is the perfect example of what he means by innovating contracts. It's so brilliant. Think about a normal loan. Your payment is the same every single month, even if the economy collapses and you lose your job. But what if, instead, your loan payment was tied to the economy? So when things get bad for everyone, your payment automatically goes down. It's like building a financial shock absorber directly into the system to protect regular people. It's genius. So you see, the goal here isn't to just tear the whole system down. It's about taking it back. It's about transforming finance from a mysterious game played by a few into a public utility that works for the many. It's about making it more democratic, more accessible, and honestly, more human. And that really leaves us with this final, powerful thought. Maybe the whole debate about whether finance is good or evil is the wrong conversation. Maybe the real challenge is for us to stop seeing it as this enemy we need to fight and start seeing it as an incredibly powerful tool that we all have a responsibility to reclaim and to reshape for the good of society. Just think about what that world could look like.